Hi there. Today we're going to talk about non-profits, like certain churches are non-profit who should not be, certain hospitals are non-profit who should not be hospitals or non-profits because they greed. And you get these debt collectors chasing other people around, which is very greedy. A lot of times they're not supposed to. When they tell them to go away, they just don't seem to listen. And I mean, I'm talking about a hospital I stayed at one time. It's a non-profit. And when I ask for help sometimes, not one iota. So I've been paying them off little by little, which I hope is okay. But the reality of the non-profit is bullshit. They don't deserve a non-profit status. They never did deserve one. The scuzzes, the only time they let anybody go on a non-profit, and a lot of my, people using false social security numbers. They somehow slide that through a lot. Our own government covers it up a lot too. I mean, when people are using the identity of a baby who was just born 3 or 4 months ago, and they know that Social Security doesn't match the age of the person they use it, but they use a non-profit status to get money from the government that way. But normal, like Americans or anybody else, can't get non-profit status sometimes because it's a cover-up. It's one of the biggest cover-ups in our country. A lot of these hospitals who claim to be non-profit. There are some out there, very good hospitals who honestly does the non-profit the right way. But you got a lot of big hospitals who got big corporate power, and they lie constantly to the team, to the government, and the government sometimes gives them a pass. But a lot of these should never be non-profit. There's a lot going on with these non-profits. Okay, I mean, you go to them, you can be the poorest of poor or the rich of the rich. But if you're really not in the gutter, you would never qualify for non-profit. You can try to make deals with roommate payments. They don't want to do it. They want to wait till you go to court first and make deals with the lawyers or the collection agents or the debt collectors. It's ridiculous. This is going on all over our country right now, especially in other states that we know of. A lot of these nonprofits falsifying records and falsifying, like I said, Social Security numbers. You don't take a good look at them, because this way they don't have to even deny it. That's normal, I guess. But a lot of these hospitals and other nonprofits out there should never have been nonprofits. They claim to help the poor. Sometimes they even go in the operation room before the operation, asking the people they could pay it. It's ridiculous. I don't know why they pull a non-profit when they shouldn't. And it's sad that they pull this stuff. It constantly goes on in this country. That we look the other way, but then we don't help the people who really need help. I mean, I've seen people thrown out on the street before. You mean, they talk about how certain presidents need operation. I need that. And they get, because they will die. But the normal person will die because most people cannot get the surgery they need. All these non-profit looks down on the people because they don't got a lot. And a lot of, when you got a lot of money in this country, you're not going to get good health care. With Obamacare, I need care. It's all insurance. You're not going to get a lot of health care for what you pay for. It's kind of like you're a supermarket and you're the one. You can only buy the cheap price because that's all you can afford right now. That's what I understand. When you need something healthy, you really can't buy it. And you kind of mostly will be denied. From all these non-profit and all these great people who say they care. Like I said, Obamacare might be a nice thing one day, maybe not. It doesn't seem like it's working too well. And it's not a cure, it's called insurance. This is probably the biggest scam we've seen in this country in a long time. They did create a gigantic insurance company for the country. If it helps some people, great. If it doesn't, hopefully it doesn't. But reality, the non-profits are going to melt these up, overcharge, overprice everything by 1,000%. And then they're going to say, wow, we make enough money. And we will have the non-profit, because the non-profit hospitals, a lot of them are good, most of them are not. There's a lot of sleazy ones out there who should never be. One was mine. They took me in, but even the nurse had told me to get out because it was so overpriced. They told me to leave. So I really kind of leave almost while signing out. I didn't last a couple of days because the hospital was so greedy. The head nurse was telling me to leave. My God, that tells you how bad the economy got, how bad we've been treating our own. We've got so overpriced ourselves. So if you get a fever, do not go to hospitals like those. You're better off to just stay home and die because sometimes they're more healthier. And it's sad to hear I do that. Other countries still seem to do better than we do. They don't use non-profits a lot. If they do, that's fine. But they open the door to all poor people. Our country doesn't. And it's sad to see that. These non-profits are not good for our country right now. Not until they really prove to be good for our country. Once in a while you find good ones, but very few. And that's all I gotta say. Thank you very much. And goodbye.